Hi everyone, welcome to Aarin's take on Next Play. It's next episode. I'm super excited to be here again with Aarin on his show, and certainly, Aarin, could you maybe introduce yourself?
Yeah, so hello guys, welcome to another episode of Aaron's Take on Next Play. My name is Aaron Chaban, and this channel is about basketball mainly, and talking about stats, trivia, and fun things we can do also in this channel.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I maybe we can quickly jump into the trivia from last week.
Yeah.
Could you maybe tell the audience, you know, how they've done and yeah.
So the first question I asked, it was very hard. I would say it was, what was the first game ever played in the NBA? And I feel like this was very hard to answer correctly, but the answer was the Toronto Huskies and the New York Knickerbockers. It used to be the Knickerbockers, but now it's the Knicks. They shortened the name.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Huskies are now the Raptors, the Toronto Raptors.
Oh,
So this was way back in the time, and I think New York won 68-66, and Leo Gottlieb was one of the players. He got 15 points, and then Ozzie Shetman was the player that scored the first bucket in NBA history.
wow.
So, but what was good is that the game went into overtime. So an overtime game for the first game, which is great.
That so tells you like they probably got excited about the game when even in the first game you would have it would be a close game.
Yes.
So I think the last episode was for viewers who if they have missed that episode, I would urge them to sort of go back to that episode because I think not many people would know the history of basketball and the evolution of how this game came to be. I think you really did a good job of explaining how, as a simple concept, evolved into this exciting game of basketball.
Yeah.
So I think it was a great learning experience. Amount of the types of teams that you explained about and how things have sort of now come to be, leading to the championship. So definitely would ask the viewers to go back to that episode. I really thought was a fantastic episode for anybody who wants to know the history of the game. So maybe I think again, as we do on these episodes, we really look at the games that have been played from last week. Again, a very busy sort of schedule. In fact, it was not just the NBA, but the other games that maybe if you're okay to maybe highlight some of the games from the NCAA, which has been just social media, and I think it's exciting to watch these young players.
Yeah.
Could you?
So, before we get to that, I forgot the second question.
Oh.
It's okay. But the second question I asked was, what was the most points someone has scored in an NBA game in history?
Mm-hmm.
And the answer was Wilt the Stilt, or like Wilt Chamberlain, who is he was probably one of the best players in NBA history, I would say. He played for Philadelphia Warriors. It used to be the Warriors. The Golden State, I forget what it was called. It was very like 60s and 70s back then. So it was a long time ago. But then there was also he also played for different teams, and he got many different opportunities. And he's 7'1". And he even in one season averaged 50.2 points per game, playing 80 games, and once averaged 27 rebounds a game because of how tall he is. And he was one of the first tall NBA players. And the answer to that question I asked was 100 points in 48 minutes. And this happened on March 2nd, 1962. So a very long time ago, around 63 years ago. But that's how old he actually lived to, 63. And he just had a great night, I guess, that time. But sadly, only like 4,000 people were there at the game.
Yeah, probably the games were not many people.
They played in New York, so because they played against New York.
Interesting. So that's a great piece of trivia, and it's a tribute to his sort of legacy and the quality of basketball he played. So
for all the teams he played, he basically got his number retired. So,
wow,
like an honor to him.
Amazing. That's amazing. So maybe we now go to just the amazing games that were part of the NCAA.
Yes.
Could you maybe talk about the games and any special player that certainly you want to speak about?
Yeah. So as I was saying, I also had predictions on the 7th, so last episode, for the Florida Gators versus the Houston Cougars. And I thought they were going to win, and I was right with that. And the score, I think it was like 81 to 77, which is less than they scored. But they won. The Florida Gators won the championship, 65 to 63. So amazingly close. And Alex Condon had his great game then. Then also Walter Clayton Jr. He got many assists for the team. I thought he was going to get over 6, and he got over 6. So, and he didn't score much, but he had a lot of sight and vision to see many players open for the shots. I mean, they didn't score too many 3-pointers, but at one point they were down by 11, and that's a lot for a game like that. And they just really stood out in the fourth quarter. Well, the second half. Like the last 10 minutes, they really just locked in. And then, so this is the crazy sequence that happened. So the Florida Gators scored 2 points, and they made it 65 to 63 now. Then Houston actually had a chance to win the game. But sadly, one of the players, I forget his name, but he dribbled the ball, and then he did a pump fake, but he couldn't touch it again. Otherwise, it would be a travel, and Florida would get the other ball. But because no one could touch it, and any other players could but him, it was taking a while to recover. So that means Florida got back the ball, and Alex Condon, with a very nice hustle play, saved the ball, dived it, and time expired right then.
Oh, wow.
So it was very crazy.
Very tight. Wow.
And they played in the Alamo Dome, in San Antonio.
Okay.
Very good game.
Yeah. And so this was, in terms of championship for them, is this their first championship for Florida, or was
I think this is one of their first.
Was it the third, or
I don't remember, but I think this is one of their first. I think first or second.
Yeah.
And then also, their coach is one of the youngest coaches to win an NBA. Well, I meant an NCAA championship since 1983. I think.
Oh wow!
So it's been a 40-year recruit for that.
Amazing. So maybe turn our attention from that to the WNBA.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there's been very much. So the season just started for them after New York won the championship. And so far they've had some good highlights this week. With Nafisa Collier having 22 points. She plays for the Minnesota Lynx. Also, someone that plays with the Minnesota Lynx is Kayla McBride, who got 21 points. Just like I was saying a lot last game, like these stats 21 and 22. And then Jonquel Jones, who plays for the New York Liberty, got 17 points. So this is usually from last week around, like the 7th and before.
Yeah.
And then rebounds was amazing with Brianna Stewart, who plays for the New York Liberty, one of the best players in the finals for that, who got 15 rebounds. She's very tall.
Wow.
And then Alana Smith, who plays for the Minnesota Lynx, got 8 rebounds. And then Nafisa Collier, who also plays for Minnesota, got 7 rebounds.
Okay.
Yeah. And then for assists was very good. Sabrina Ionescu who plays for the New York Liberty, very good 3-point shooter, and good stealing ability, passing, and even rebounding. And for a WNBA player, she's more on like the shorter side, I would say. She's not like one of those tall players that rebound so much, like those big, tall women, like in the paint only. But she's very decent, I would say. Like, not decent, but even better. Like, she's a very good elite, scorer. And then she dished out with 8 assists, including Kayla McBride, who plays for the Minnesota Lynx, with 5. So a big comparison. And then Brianna Stewart, again, she's also good at assisting. She's one of those taller people that can do that. And she got 4 assists.
Wow. Nice.
And then talking on defense, blocking, Brianna Stewart, who is amazing, she always gets like at least 1 or 2 blocks a game.
Yeah.
And she got 3. So that's great. And then Nafisa Collier, she's also tall, so she got 2. And then Sabrina Ionescu got 1, which is great for one like that.
Yeah.
And that was the highlight, I would say, for the game.
Great. So I'm sure we'll see some exciting games going forward as well from some of the teams. So I think it will be fun to watch the progress of the WNBA along with also
the action, the playoffs.
Yeah, the playoffs as they happen. So maybe we switch gears and talk about the NBA and the Celtics. They've been playing some games away and then again back home. So could you maybe talk about their some of the games?
So sadly, I think it was on Tuesday or Wednesday, but they played Orlando, the Orlando Magic, and that was in Orlando, so there was a bigger advantage. And then, so this is the reason the Celtics lost by 20. 76 to 96. Very low scoring game. That's amazingly low for a team like this.
That's right.
But the reason for this makes very much sense. So Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, Derek White, Kristaps Porzingis, and Drew Holiday, all of them were not playing.
Yeah.
So that really makes sense. But Peyton Pritchard and Baylor Shireman got 15 points, which was very good.
Yeah.
And Baylor Shireman has just been an elite scorer for the team, and they've really needed it. Same with Torrey Craig. He just got traded from Chicago to here. So he's been really doing well, I would say.
That's great. Yeah. So though the Magic's got a win,
Cole Anthony,
but I think the younger and less experienced players from the Celtics got a chance to display their skills too. So what about other games?
I want to add one more thing to the game. One of the reasons the Orlando won was because of their 3-point ability. They shot many threes and made them. And they made over almost 15, I think, threes. And that's very high for one team like this. And Cole Anthony got a lot of points. And then, like you were saying, today they played Charlotte at home. So this is their second to last season game. like in the regular season. They played 81 so far.
Mm.
And as their 80th game, their 81st, I meant, they won 130 to 94, winning by 36.
Mm.
But the main reason they probably lost was because they didn't have LaMelo Ball, which is their key player, I would say. Also, Brandon Miller wasn't playing, who was amazing, and Diabate, who is a French big man who can also do well. But the Celtics from three, amazing. 23 for 51 from three, which is amazing. And then Sam Hauser came with 20 points, including a 1.4 for 4 from three, with 12 points.
Yeah.
And then also, Derek White had a great night, I would say.
Yes.
3 rebounds, 7 assists, 4 blocks, which is, he's one of the only guards that can really block like this, and he's a point guard, and he's 6'4". Yeah. Amazingly short for someone that can do that. And not even like big men can do that. Yeah. And he even got 19 points. So, and then Peyton Pritchard got 20 with 3 rebounds and assists. And then Jason Tatum, 16 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. Now, Jaylen Brown wasn't playing this game, but they just went eye to eye from 3. And then also, this was great, of Al Horford, 13 points and 11 rebounds, which is the first time he's done it in a decade where he scored 13 points and 8 rebounds in the first half. Yeah. So, and then none of their starters played in the start of the game. So, they also got 35 assists in total, other with Charlotte getting 25. And earlier, Charlotte was doing better in field goal percentage with over 50, but then they went down, and the Celtics had over 50. So it just depends what time you're at and what's happening. So I feel like every player in the Celtics put their best effort in, and they really just stood out to me, because also 37 to 22 in the third quarter, a big lead. They were only up by 1 at half, 54 to 53. Then they were up by 15. I mean 16 actually. After. So, and then they scored 76 points in the second half. Wow. And the Charlotte Hornets only scored 41. Oh, wow. Yeah. So that's really the main reason they won.
Yeah, there's a lot of points scored in the second half.
35 more points.
Yeah. I felt the games that were in the Western Conference were some exciting games as well. I think the Celtics on this side seem to be dominating.
Yeah, they just got their 60th win. That was their 60th.
Ah, okay.
So it's the first time they've done it where they scored. Well, they've won 60 plus games in a season, 2 years in a row. So 2007 to 8, and then 2008 to 9 seasons. They got over 60 wins. Okay. Also, so franchise.
This is like for franchise. It's really historic.
Really good.
Yeah. But as I was saying, also I think the Western Conference has been very exciting to watch. Golden State Warriors, and as well as Portland.
They're playing them tonight.
Yeah. So some exciting games.
Phoenix versus San Antonio also.
Yeah. Were there other games that you felt that have been exciting?
Yeah. So first, I'll talk about the Eastern Conference since we're in it right now, and the Cleveland. These are the games that were played today. Yeah. So Cleveland played New York. Cleveland had just turned things around, and they're amazing now. Like 63 and I think 16 for the season. I think less losses actually than that. But they staged an impressive comeback with that to defeat the Knicks 108 to 102, with Darius Garland getting 26 points, scoring 13 in the fourth quarter. Half of those. And That's really one of the reasons they won, but also Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley were key for the game. And the Orlando Magic versus the Indiana Pacers. The Magic just been playing good. And they triumphed over, blew out almost the Pacers, 129-115, with Trevelyan Queen. He's really good, and he got 5 3-pointers, which is great. And then Atlanta played Philadelphia. This was for the spot in the play-in tournament. So whoever plays can get a spot into the playoffs for a chance to win the trophy. And Atlanta played Philadelphia to get that, and the Hawks got the win, 124-110. And Trae Young was the MVP of that game with 36 points and dishing out 11 assists for the win. So I'll tell more about later what's going to happen with the predictions.
Oh, that's great. So again, a lot of exciting games going on, and probably over the weekend as well. So what is your in terms of the recap for some of the games that are that have been played, between 5th to the 10th?
Yeah. So the Los Angeles Clippers, defeated the Mavericks. So this was on April 5th. And they won with a big blowout, 135-104.
Yeah.
With Ivica Zubac, who's very good. He's amazing. He's 6 foot. He just turned, I think, 28 or 25. I forget. But he had a perfect shooting night with 25 points and 10 rebounds. A great double-double. And yesterday, late in the night, the Timberwolves, with the wolves howling, beat the Grizzlies, the Bears, you can say, 141-125, including Anthony Edwards scoring a great 44 points. And this is including 18 points in the third quarter, but the whole Minnesota team scored 52 points. And the third quarter was almost a record breaker. So it was just that took it away. The third quarter was their main focus on coming back.
Wow. Yeah, so these are just sort of very intense games, and some of the players really pushing their limits and showing great leadership. So in terms of really excited about the next games that are coming. Do you want to get into the trivia, or you want to go to the predictions?
So now I'm going to ask the trivias for this week, and then we'll hop to the predictions.
Yeah.
So the first question I'll be asking is, what university did Derek White go to? And I'll give you a hint. It's in the West region.
Okay.
And the second question is, what NBA team had a historical record in 82 games, 73 and 9? So 73 wins and 9 losses. Amazing. And then hint, this is a very good team with one of the best shooters in history. Probably gave it away almost. But they have 3 words in their name. So
words in their name. Okay.
They also play in the West.
Okay. That's great. So I'm sure people are going to really hopefully they will answer.
Yes, I can't wait for everyone's answer.
Thank you. Do you want to get into the predictions then?
So, as you can see, now I was saying about Orlando and Atlanta. They're playing against each other. I forget when, but it's the play-in tournament. So whoever will win this game, they're facing off the Celtics in the first round. So they did this last time where Miami played Chicago, and Miami won, so they played the Celtics in the first round.
Got it.
And that's how you can tell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be asking 3 questions for the game, for the predictions.
Yeah.
Who won? What was the score? And who do you think is MVP of the game?
Okay.
So this is very hard, I would say. But who won? Both are like southern states. What do you think?
Yeah, I would agree. I think maybe I can do it here.
Yeah, you can do it.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
And then should I?
Yeah, I can just show everyone now.
Okay.
So as you can see, both of us think Orlando's gonna win. The score is hard.
Yes.
I think it's gonna be similar to what the games that they've been playing.
Yeah.
It's a little more high scoring though.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So I think 124 to 111 and 130 to 115. So 15-point win and a 13-point. So they're a little high, more high scoring. And I think the MVP. I think I might get this guy. Oh, whoops. Okay. Whoops.
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Okay.
As well.
So both of us think Franz Wagner, who's from Germany and has another brother named Moritz Wagner, and they play on the same team.
Right.
So, and he's German. So, and he's just been great, and I think I have trust in him for winning. But also, if Atlanta wins, it's kind of obvious. It's either gonna be Trae Young or Dyson Daniels, I would say, because he's one of the best at stealing so far this season.
So this will be a fun game to see and predict. So.
And there you go, the table of predictions. And this was the show.
So again, thank you, Aarin, for a very informative session. I think we covered a lot in terms of some of your historical perspectives, trivia from the past, both NCAA, WNBA, and then the NBA highlights to the games that are approaching, going into the playoffs. So I think it's only getting more and more exciting,
intense also, yeah.
Right? And so I think you're going to be doing this next episode, but there will be some surprises.
Yes.
That I think we want people to tune for the next episode, which is going to be a fun one.
Yeah. And also, before you go, I wanted to tell you that one of the best games I saw this week. I forgot to mention this, but the Celtics played the Knicks, and amazing Kristaps Porzingis with 8 3-pointers, including like a 40-footer from 3, like on the New York Knicks logo. So they played in New York, Madison Square Garden, and then also when they were playing, it was very intense, but very close. Like when I heard intense, that's what I thought. It was so nail biting. I was so scared when I watched it. So the game went into overtime. But before that, it was amazing. It was very close of a game, like I was saying. And at one point, New York was up by almost 10. And then the Celtics were leading by 7 at one point. And the score went on to 103 to 102. Yeah. The New York Knicks leading. And then they score another. Well, then the Celtics score 2, and then New York scores 2, but then the Celtics missed the 2-pointer, and then New York gets ball, and then New York scores 2 for the score to be 104 to 107. And then I'm like, they need a 3 now. And I thought Kristaps Porzingis might do it, but then I saw Jason Tatum was playing, so he just did his handle, and then he stepped back, and then he created so much space that he could just shoot it with 2 seconds left. Yeah. So he shot it, and he made it for 3. So 107 to 107 tied with 2.9 seconds, and then the ball gets inbounded from a timeout, so closer up. And then Josh Hart shoots it, and it was almost really close, like on the heel of it. Then it was intense also in overtime. So Kristaps Porzingis hit this, let's say, dagger 3 to make the lead 115 to 112. Mm-hmm. And then they started putting back buckets, and then they fouled a lot, so it was 115 to 120 Celtics up. Yeah. And then I think it was Jalen Brunson. He was scoring lots of threes, making plays, and then even Karl Anthony Towns was doing good. Right. And then they sadly lost, though. Yeah. 117 to 119.
Yeah, I think towards the end, I think the Celtics really closed it, but it came really close. And,
I was worried.
Right. Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown's that 3-point was like just so timely, and then
what happened with different time schemes and what was happening, and including daggers from like even when you heard the commentator's reaction with threes made.
Yeah. So that was an exciting game. I know we're, I think, coming to a close, but just as an example of some of the games which have been nail-biting. So
definitely. Fans on there.
So stay tuned to the next episode of Aarin's Take on Next Play. Aarin, thank you so much again.
Thank you, guys, and thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye, guys. Hey guys, I am excited to bring you my new channel, Aarin's Take on Next Play. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Bye!